April 19th, 1995. I was 11 years old. I was in 6th grade, and that's a day that I will always remember. But I went home and watched the news. And I was glued to the TV.
To come here, I know a lot of people are concerned about their loved ones.
That moment, none of us will forget.
And my heart was aching, not just for the victims, but also for first responders.
Step back, you could say an officer has been injured. We understand that it's probably smoke inhalation.
From there, this Oklahoman knew the trajectory of her life would change forever.
People from all over the country would come and help. And I felt that call to help as an 11-year-old.
Her focus,
I hated seeing people hurting.
Fell onto one particular group during the bombing.
I just admired first responders, that they were there 24/7, the respect they had looking for survivors, but then also watching them switch into recovering fatalities from that.
So many of those first responders worked with the American Red Cross and their volunteers.
And I just wanted to always be a citizen that was able to give back to my community, and the Red Cross gave me that outlet.
Marama dedicating the first part of her life as a volunteer. During the May 3rd Moore tornado and Hurricane Katrina, she eventually made it into a career, getting her master's in nonprofit management.
Helping them, here's who you can call next, here's what we can provide you, walking them through next steps. And you just click on it and it
Today she recruits volunteers for the Red Cross, hoping others will join her same mission.
If there's a disaster, we're going to be there, and we're going to take care of those that are impacted.
Body aches, and just the way I described it to people was I felt like I'd ran a track meet but played a football game the day before.
That was just the beginning for Trenton Martinez, a local ER physician who has since recovered from the virus. And now his plasma is being used to help other patients in our community.
They told me there was 2 sick patients that my plasma was going to be used for, and I honestly, that's probably the best work I've done since, being a doctor. I feel like, I'm actually in there being able to help them. So it was a really good feeling.
During the city's COVID-19 update on Tuesday, a local health official called the plasma a game changer.
One patient's plasma can save 2 or 3 lives.
That's because certain antibodies in the plasma help the body fight off the infection. And just today, a 5th recovered patient donated their plasma here at the Coastal Bend Blood Center.
It's a good finish line for everything that we've had to deal with over the past couple of weeks. So it's definitely nice to kind of have a little silver lining at the end, a positive note to end on.
He tested positive for COVID-19 during the 2nd day of drive-through testing in Corpus Christi. 4 units of his plasma are now heading to hospitals in the area to help critically ill patients come one step closer to being symptom-free. And he is using his experience to encourage other recovered patients to join him.
And for those out there that had to fight it like me, come and donate your plasma. We can help some other folks and have some positive out of the situation.
Catherine McGinty.
He first made headlines in February when he and his wife Alice were on board the Grand Princess cruise ship. Paul started developing symptoms on February 24th and was the first to test positive for the coronavirus by the Department of Public Health.
He wants to donate plasma to help save other people's lives.
Now that Paul's recovered, he's helping others battling the virus by offering up his plasma, rich with the antibodies that fight off the coronavirus.
Convalescent plasma is a very promising treatment for people who are suffering from COVID-19 right now. He's the first one here in Sacramento to do this, so that's very significant.
We caught up with the Petersons at the Vitalant lab in Sacramento, where Paul's making his plasma donation. Dr. Neil Koschel says the procedure known as convalescent plasma transfusion is on the cutting edge of treatment for the virus.
It takes a person's plasma who has recovered from the coronavirus, and then that plasma is isolated and purified and then reintroduced into a patient who has an active illness.
The hope is that whatever helped the first person recover will also help the new patient now fighting the virus.
It gives us a glimmer of hope in actually finding something that can deal with the virus or defeat it or kill it or somehow weaken the virus.
For Peterson, it's another first. He's now the first person in Sacramento to offer up his plasma to help others. Paul had been on 141 cruises, but none compared to the last one that changed his life forever. Now he's hoping he can make a positive change in the lives of others suffering from this horrible illness.
Good luck to everybody, and take care of yourselves.
In Sacramento, Walter
Good atmosphere around here of people helping each other.
People living in Fisher Park want their neighbors to know help is just a phone call away.
There are people who don't have anybody, or they feel like they don't have anybody, or they actually may have somebody, but they keep relying on that same somebody or two to help them because they do have needs.
The Neighborhoods Association is making sure people have essential supplies like groceries and medication.
We should be able to, and we are able to, be there for people without any kind of strings attached or them feeling like it's a burden. These are all people that want to be doing this. It feels good, and we're able.
Michelle Felt will also connect people with mental health resources if necessary.
People are struggling mentally and could use some support and need to know that there's somebody out there that cares. But especially now in a time when people are feeling more alone, more disconnected, probably tending a little bit more toward anxiety, depression. It's really important to stay focused and stay connected, stay focused on well-being and stay connected.
The association has helped one family, and more than a dozen people have volunteered their services.
And sometimes people are offering things that I didn't even put on the door hangers. So they'll mow somebody's yard or walk their dog, and that's not even on the door hanger. But so the response has just sort of filled my heart that the level of humanity is amazing.
Now, the plan right now is to keep some of these services going beyond the coronavirus pandemic. The goal would be helping some senior citizens stay in their homes with help from those living nearby. Live in Greensboro.
We usually serve about 400 families a month. And this week, we're on pace to serve almost 200 families this week. So yeah, it's been a huge uptick. A normal day for us is maybe 30 guests, and Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, we served 60. We're a partner of the Tarrant Area Food Bank, so we get a lot of our food from them. But we're also, through the food bank, we're one of Feeding America's partners also. So what that means is that when grocery stores have things that they haven't sold, we go and pick that up. So normally we pick those up Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we usually get tons of food, literally tons, thousands of pounds of food from them every single week. So that's the vast majority of what we get. But right now, because everything's been bought, we're not getting really much of anything, a couple of 100 pounds a week.
Hey Treasure, how are you?
Hi Treasure.
So I follow Mission Central on Facebook, and I saw this morning that they had a list of things they needed, and we decided to make a run, and we got lucky.
Yeah, we went to Target and got real lucky. So.
Yeah. You know, so we got chicken breast, and so we get mac and cheese
drink. We got some
Little Debbie cookies.
Little Debbie's. What else do we get?
Juice,
candy. We got some candy. I don't
tuna.
know.
We did find some tuna.
Yeah, we found a few cans of tuna. Oh, we got some Obiana sausage. We don't know if anybody will eat them or not, but they had those.
Yeah.
My boyfriend and I, we have 5 kids, so there's quite a bit, food that needs to come into the house, and so going to the store is not easy right now. It's not easy to find anything on the shelves.
We are going to do the best we can for as long as we can. We are working hard to get every bit of support that we can. So we're hoping we can keep going as long as we possibly can. We're in it for the long haul. So.
Just before Vermont's ban on large gatherings, when riders at Stowe raised their snowboards during a slopeside memorial to Jake Burton Carpenter. Widely called the father of snowboarding for the famous gear brand he founded here.
We're very proud of that.
Burton Carpenter died late last year from cancer.
Right on, Jake.
Wednesday, Donna Carpenter drawing praise from Governor Phil Scott for the COVID-19 response work she and her company are doing, much of it in her late husband's name.
His legacy of giving continues.
Burton tapped into its Asian supply chain to donate 500,000 FDA-approved masks to hospitals across the Northeast, including 2 in Vermont and New Hampshire where the snowboarding icon received treatment.
It's kind of insane when you think about it, what private companies are doing to step in when it really should be the federal government.
And this will be our mold.
The company also worked with Boston Children's Hospital to design face shields now being manufactured at a prototyping center in Burlington, hundreds per week. Gifts of new goggles are doubling as protective equipment for frontline healthcare workers, and employees are sewing cloth masks at home to share with others.
In a crisis like this, We can rely on each other.
I know that the governor and everybody involved shares the same values we do of people first and community first.
And Governor Scott points out that Burton is just one of many Vermont companies going above and beyond right now, saying their generosity, ingenuity, and service will make the state a better place once the COVID-19 crisis ends. In Burlington.
Qui n'a pas atteint encore grand monde. Et on se sent impuissant. On n'a pas de traitement, on n'a pas de possibilité d'isoler, et on n'a pas moyen de savoir ceux qui sont malades et ceux qui ne le sont pas. J'ai été en contact avec pas mal de malades, moi, qui sont certainement positifs. Ce serait étonnant que je ne sois pas positif aussi.